guys, welcome back to Mansell Media Corner, and today let's talk about the year of 1988 in terms of pop culture and media. But what a way to start 1988 with some legendary films. So let's start with Michael Keaton and Tim Burton directed, but it's the legendary Beetlejuice. Then we got the legendary Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Then we got Mac and Me. I think's got a very young Paul Rudd in. Then we got Willow with directed by Ron Howard. Then My Neighbour Totoro, which I think is one of Jamie Powell's favourite Studio Ghibli films. Then we got Beaches with Bette Midler, I think. Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, and directed by the late great Ivan Reitman. Then we got Rain Man with Robert De Niro and the legend that is Tom Cruise. And then we got Cocktail as well with Tom Cruise. Gorilla in the Mist. That a film I remember seeing at the UCI in Merry Hill at the time. Or was it Dudley? It's one of the two. I think it may have been Dudley, which is shut down now. But it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is the first time we ever had Warner Brothers and Disney characters in the same film. Then we got The Land Before Time, Buster with Phil Collins, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which is Steve Martin and Michael Caine, I think it is. Then of course we got Tom Hanks in Big, and of course that piano scene is just awesome. Then of course he's recently done his own live show, but it's Child's Play himself, and of course Chucky, Grave of the Fireflies, Working Girl with, I think it's Meg Ryan, maybe Melanie Griffith and Harrison Ford. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We've also got Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, Oliver and Company, A Fish Called Wonder, The Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen, Hairspray, the original Scrooged with Bill Murray, Short Circuit 2 we've got as well, Police Academy 5, Mission Excitement. Forget the title, but it's Police Academy 5. My Stepmother is an Alien, High Spirits, Big Business, and Hell Comes to Frogtown. So that's some of the highlights for 1988. Let's talk about television, especially on BBC One. So first to the Summer Wine, which I've never seen. I don't know if it's prequel to Last of the Summer Wine. If anybody likes, my friend Hale knows, leave it in the comments if it is. But also on BBC One we had Kissifer, Star Wars Droids, the movie game, which originally was presented by Philip Schofield and later John Barrowman himself. Then we had The Flying Doctors Appear, Eggs and Bacon, Stop It and Tidy Up. Playdays makes its first ever appearance on this channel. The Snorks, You Hang Me Lord and Countryfile. But on BBC Two we had one of the great sci-fi comedies in the UK in Red Dwarf. Geordie Racer, Rapido, and Alexis Sale stuff. If you don't know, Alexis Sale was later in The Young Ones, I think. But on ITV, there are some legendary shows. Let's start with The Real Ghostbusters, absolute classic TV major show for the kids. Hale and Pace. This Morning, which was at the Albert Dock in Liverpool. It was Richard and Judy, if I recall rightly. Motormouth as well made its first appearance. Wheel of Fortune. London's Burning. The Hitman and Outers, Michaela Strachan and Pete Wartsman from, I think he's from Warsaw. And of course the legendary You Bet. But on Channel 4 you had the likes of 15 to 1 and the Oprah Winfrey Show. So let's talk about births. And there are some legends who were born in this year who look older than they look. So we've got the legendary Ryland Clark himself, Gaz Beadle, I think, was in EastEnders, but I don't know what he's in now, but I think he was. But then we got David Platt himself, the latter version in Jack P. Shepherd, Joe Lycett. Lacey Turner is also in EastEnders. Zoe Kravitz, who was recently Catwoman in The Batman. James Arthur. Hayley Williams of Paramore. Michael Cera. Or Sierra. Who was, I think he might have been in Napoleon Dynamite or something like that. Brenda Sung, who played London Tipton in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in The Sweet Life on Deck. The notorious Conor McGregor. Claire Holt, I think, was in The Crown, but not 100%. Then we got Jessie J, of course. Emma Stone. Rupert Grint. Vanessa Hudgens. Rihanna, Adele, of course, which I thought was a little bit older, but now she's born in 1988, and Lizzo. Then in terms of deaths, again, some very sad deaths. Someone's too much more shocking when you think about it nowadays. But let's start with Heather O'Rourke, of course, who was only young when she died, but she was the main lead in Poltergeist. Then we got the legendary Roy Orbison, who was around, I think, in the 60s. We got Anne Ramsey. Then we got Divine, who was like the first drag queen of his time. Roy Kinnear. Kenneth Williams. Of course, all I gotta say, Will-O-the-Wisp, carry on, but what a legend he was. Sylvester, who was around in the 70s, who sang You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, I think it was. Bruiser Brody was a famous wrestler. And Roger Hargreaves, who of course did the Mr. Men. However, there's a lot more positives coming out in 1988. terms of music. So let's start with one of Ryman's classics, and it's the last one of the 1980s, but it's Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, and I believe they headlined Donington that year. And on the same bill he had Kiss, Guns N' Roses, I think it was Halloween. But yeah, of course, Can I Play With Madness, which was a big song at the time, with Graham Chapman in the music video. Of course, got the legendary The Clairvoyant, The Evil That Men Do. Of course, got the likes of Justice for All, which is Metallica's last of the 80s, which of course has got the main song on that album, One. What an awesome song. And then you got U2 with Rattle and Hum, their best album, I think. Of course, it got Kylie Minogue self-titled, which my mum brought me on cassette that year for Christmas, 1998. South of Heaven by Slayer, Vivid by the band who did Cult of Personality. If you don't know, it's CM Punk theme tune, and it's gone. So it'll probably come back to me in a bit. So Far So Good So What by Megadeth, Tracy Chapman's self-titled album, of course, famous for Fast Car, Introspective by Pet Shop Boys, and again another great metal band, but representing the Americans in the kind of power metal genre, power pop metal, Kings of Metal himself, Manowar. What can I say? Awesome album. But let's end off again. A very good year for professional wrestling. He had WrestleMania 4 from the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, which with Randy Macho Man Savage getting beating the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase for the WWE Championship. In the great final, of course, he had like Bret the Hitman Hart teasing like how legendary he would be. Then he had the first ever SummerSlam headlined by the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. And if you don't know the Mega Bucks are, it's the late great Andre the Giant with Bobby the Brain Heenan and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase with Virgil in his corner versus the Mega Powers, which was the Immortal Hulk Hogan and the WWE Champion Randy Macho Man Savage, with Miss Elizabeth and the legendary Jesse the Body Ventura as special guest referee. Also had the first Royal Rumble, which was Cops Coliseum in Canada. I think it might be Toronto, I think, which was the first ever 20-man Royal Rumble, which was later won by Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who goes, "Ho, USA!" And of course he had the second annual Survivor Series as well. But in terms of FA Cup, he had Wimbledon winning the FA Cup final. Then he had Steffi Graf beating Martina Navratilova in an epic final. And you'd have Stefan Edberg winning for the men's. But in terms of racing, you had the legend that is Ayrton Senna winning the Formula One Drivers' Championship. But yeah, that's the last of the 80s. Who knows? But what an experience to look back on the 1980s with, with historical moments, which nowadays, which people still talk about nowadays, like music and like television. But yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to the legendary Jamie Pallone. Now he loves his studio. He likes his Studio Ghibli's, etc. And like horror films, etc. So give the guy a sub, because he's an awesome BlueTuber. And of course, my very good friend Hale from Small Screen Big Screen with Hale. Again, an awesome BlueTuber. Just actually had his birthday yesterday, and a future YouTuber. But when she gets the confidence to do videos, she's gonna be awesome. In my good friend Rebecca Lou, which is Movie Junction and TV, but she's an awesome BlueTuber. But please like, share and subscribe to Manson Media Corner. And tell me in the box what are some of your favourite memories of this particular year, or some of the 80s in terms of albums, television, or just what you're doing in the 80s. I always like reading your comments. So that's the 1980s. Who knows what the future will hold? Maybe the 90s project, who knows? But anyhow, thanks for watching Manson Media Corner, and so long and farewell and goodbye.